Hello guys and welcome. Today I've wanted to talk about a new RPG game that I've gotten into called Genshin Impact. And today I want to review this game and share you guys my first impression of this game and if I would recommend this game for players to get. Like, the whole world of Genshin Impact, first of all, is really beautiful. Like, just look at the water, how even the sun is reflecting and how clear it looks. It does feel a bit like Zelda Breath of the Wild from the exploration and from the way the landscape looks, and it's really pretty. You can also interact here with different things in the environment, including statues where you can like unlock certain things and level up your stamina. And oh wow, you even can glide with wings here in this game. It's a really big and fascinating world, and it has for some reason a lot of mountains. Like, a lot of those areas here in this game are very rockish, and the combat here feels also very great in this game. And all those characters have certain elements, like this character here called Beidou has shock element, and Diona here has ice elements. And like, the combat overall is like really great and it feels good. And because you have like different elements in this game, you can also trigger elemental reactions. Like, those two heroes that I used here to show you guys were Beidou, a shock hero, and Diona, a ice hero. And if you use like ice and shock, you can actually create more damage. And there are like a lot of combos possible in this game, and random events happen. Like here, we just walked and we are being attacked by those monsters. Like, it's a overall really fun game. And what I also like here is how we have like 4 characters in a team that we can just switch around and all have like different abilities. Some are range, some are more like warriors or bruisers, and some are more like mages here. Like, it's really cool. It's a really beautiful world, very big. You can interact with your environment, you can pick up things, loot stuff from monsters, and there's a lot of farming possible in this game. Same with when it comes to food and minerals. And all the landscapes are somehow different. Like, earlier we were in the grass fields with a little lake, now there was like a forest, now we're back to the grass fields. And yeah, in the party you can only have 4 characters at a time, and it's always good to go for different elements in this game, like our ice hero here. We do have also earth heroes and fire heroes and shock heroes, and like, there's just a lot of characters you can pick and unlock. But there's one downside in unlocking those characters, and I will talk about this later. And yeah, this game really reminds me a lot of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But it does have a European touch here, especially in this city where there's like some sort of kingdom, the kingdom of Mondstadt. And I'm gonna visit this in a moment. And yeah, like, it's really big world, as you guys can see, and there's like a lot of random events happening as well. And you can really interact with the environment. You can like farm even apples if you wanted to. You can raid those villager camps. And those villagers, they remind me of those goblin-like creatures from Zelda a lot. Like, seriously. Oh wow. But yeah, the combat feels great. And did you guys see that superconduct? This happens if you mix 2 types of elements. In this case, ice and shock. Like I mentioned earlier, you can do like combos with your team, especially if you have like matching elements together. And oh wow, it's just so beautiful. This game can also be quite addicting, especially if you just started it. Like, you want to explore everything, do all the quests. But the game is still under development. They are not completely done with it. There will be additional zones. And there's also a crafting system. You can cook, for example, and we could make us, for example, a steak here. You can do the same also with alchemy and make some potions, or you can craft some weapons in this game. Like, that's all possible here. Or it's really cool. I always love crafting systems in RPG games. It's really interesting. It makes you want to farm more stuff. And here there are some fruits that we can pick from a tree. I like that sort of interaction with the environment as well. It's really fun. And you can also like eat them, actually. So if you want like more HP, you can like pick up fruits and eat them that you just collect in the wild. And if you want to, you can also interact with NPCs like little Timmy here, and some having a very interesting dialogue, and you have multiple options. They do come back usually, but oh wow. And some have a rather sad dialogue, like Timmy, because he said those birds maybe never come back, just like his daddy. Oh wow, that's actually heart touching. And yeah, now we are entering Mondstadt, the very European medieval based city here, and it's actually the first city you will enter in this game. And this one is run by the Knights of Favonius. And as you can already hear by Knights of Favonius, this is like super European, because knights come from Europe. There are different guilds like the Adventurers Guild that you can join, and there are like daily quests you can do, and you can get like rewards from it. You can dispatch also characters on expeditions, and they will be not available for several minutes, but you're gonna get a reward for sending them out. And yeah, adventure rank is one of the levels you can like ascend in this game and level up. And the higher your adventure rank is, the more missions you can unlock, and you can also do like different domains and different levels in the domains with different unique drops. Here, for example, we need adventure rank 45 to do this level 4 of the domain, and we can get like talent books to level up our character here, what is really good because you can increase your damage output and also the duration of certain things. Let me quickly show you how it works. So here are the talents. This hero has already the talents on level 6, and we farmed some books in previous streams and leveled our characters up for more damage. Like, that's one way to maximize the characters, and you do need certain materials, not just the book, but also like this kind of potion here, this honey nectar. And that way you can like level up your talents for even more damage or more healing, for example. And it's not just NPCs that you can interact with for dialogues, but you can also do some trading. Like, here's a cook where you can like buy some food. There's a jewelry shop and also like general artifacts, and you can buy, for example, weapon materials. You can buy certain gems here, as we can see, for ascension of characters to level them up. A sword prototype. But one thing I must say is really weird here. If you buy something, it's being sold out. And I bought something like 2 weeks ago and it's still not back. I think those shops in this game are soon running out of business, because if everything is sold out, when are they actually getting it again? It's like you buy it one time and then it's gone. I think it's so stupid, right? Like, why is the trader not getting the product again, especially if there's high demand? And yeah, we can also craft stuff here, including some alchemy, and we can get some stronger gems by using 3 of the lower tier ones. We can make some potions that will increase like the damage here, in this case the earth damage, the geo damage by 25%, what is really useful as well. You can also buff this up with certain foods. So if you enter like a domain, like a dungeon, you can make your characters stronger before you enter this. And oh wow, as you guys can see, there's like a lot of love for detail here in this game. This city looks just so beautiful. I love this medieval European touch that this city here has. The wall is done really nice. Like, the outfits of the characters are so beautiful. And you can also take on quests by those characters. I mean, those NPCs that have those marks over their head. And here we have to get rid of some treasure hunters, some thieves. It's basically the treasure hoarders. They are the bandits in this game, and if we take them down, we're getting a reward. And the rewards, they differ from quest to quest. Sometimes those are talent books, sometimes those are XP scrolls, and in this case, what are we having for the thief catching? So yeah, if we defeat the treasure hoarders, aka bandits, we are getting, what are we getting here? Adventure XP, and we're getting some gold. And we're getting talent books for leveling up the talents. What is really nice. And in Mondstadt, this beautiful city here, there's also a big church here and a big statue. And we're getting there in a second. And like, it's also a nice location. It's basically in the middle of a river. And a lot of quests are taking place here, especially if you start the game. Like, the main story quest starts here. And it's just so beautiful. I love the detail they have in this game, and I can't wait to play those new zones. There's actually a big new zone coming called Inazuma, and this is a traditional Japanese based island from what I've been hearing, or like a location that is traditional Japanese. So we have all cultures coming here together, the European one, the Chinese one, and soon the Japanese one. And in a moment I will also show you the Chinese region of this game that has like traditional Chinese architectures. And just look at that huge church in the background and this statue in front of us. We can even change the time in this game. There's a day and night cycle here, and we can, if you want to, manually wait and change back to night, and certain things happen at night that don't happen during daytime. Very fascinating. Okay, and now we are at Liu. Liu is basically the Chinese province in this game, and we're having here a lot of traditional Chinese buildings, and the names are also all Chinese, because it's not just the architecture that changes and the background music, as we can hear now. It's also the NPCs, the names, and even the color is changing. Liu, this area here, is actually the area of Earth, and there's some sort of Earth god, like the Geo god, and because it's like Earth based, we find also a lot of NPCs that fit the Earth theme. And they're actually very, very sensitive against claymores, for example, and other Earth characters that can shatter their shields. And that's something that's also really interesting about this game. Certain monsters in this game have certain weaknesses. Some monsters are weak against fire, some are weak against like big swords and against other things. We also have multiplayer in this game, like cooperation. We can do like world bosses together, for example, and we can invite players. It's only possible currently to have 4 players at the time in a group. But it's not too bad, because it's gonna be busy with 4 players. I have been playing multiplayer before, and I did some challenges and world bosses even with 4 players. And some restrictions are there though. Like you need minimum world level 5 to play with some players. Some have like other levels. So always make sure your friends that you are having are on a similar level than you, otherwise it doesn't make much sense to play with them. You can also add friends and look them up. And oh wow, I'm actually wondering what they're gonna do in the future with cooperation and multiplayer. I hope there will be some PvP or some leaderboards. That would be nice to have PvE leaderboards, so you can clear trials and dungeons in a group, and you're getting like a certain score, and you can compare this with other players that are doing dungeons or maybe some PvP. And just look at this city of Liu, like Liu Harbor. It is so beautiful. Like those lanterns here, and you can see that traditional Chinese touch here very clearly. Oh wow. Especially at night, I find this area to look really, really great. Like the areas, they look so different depending on the day cycle. In the morning things looks different, in the evening things look different, at night things look different. It's really great. And you even have like animals, like cats here. Sometimes you can also encounter dogs. What is really nice, I hope in the future we are getting some pets that we can actually get. That would be nice to have like pets that follow you, right? Oh wow. The quest line is also pretty fun here, and there are a lot of mini quests you can get. And here we are having a Yanshang tea house. I'm actually wondering what they're offering here. I haven't talked to this NPC yet. Maybe I will do this soon. And oh wow, a lot of mountains here. Very nice background music. And if you guys are like achievement hunters, there's also adventure books, and there are like certain domains you can clear and bosses, and if you do certain things like level up characters, you can unlock Primo Gems, and Primo Gems is a special currency, just like it says here. That's actually the currency you use to unlock new characters and also some new weapons. And they're like general achievements for doing certain things like completing bounties or a certain amount of them, and you can also get Primo Gems for that. Or here, if you ascend characters or weapons to phase 6, you're also getting Primo Gems and rewards. And as you guys can see, I'm only at 38%. There's still much more to do and a lot of more Primo Gems to earn. But yeah, there's also a shop in this game, and you can also get Primo Gems from here. And I got the Blessing of the Welkin Moon, so every day I get like 90 Primo Gems, and you can buy like also like some supplies here if you wanted to.
If you ever want to trade
now, what the Primo Gems are used are for wishes, and with those wishes you can unlock certain characters, like here the Diona, the Ice Hero we have, the Shock Hero we have. And if you get them multiple times, you are unlocking Constellations that are quite OP. And each wish is 160 Primo Gems. Currently we only have 103, so we can't do that. And this is the limited banner, so Tartaglia, this hero, will only be there for a certain amount of time. And yeah, we couldn't change the crystals, but we don't have any. And this is the regular banner, and there are some heroes that have like 5 stars, like some of the characters, and some have 4 stars. The 5-star ones are really difficult to get and very rare in comparison to the 4-star ones, like Noelle here for example. You can get her quite often. I have her already on 3 constellations. And yeah, each 10 wishes is usually a 4-star item. And it can also be a 5-star item, but the chance is lower. But yeah, if you want like more Primo Gems, the only way currently to get it is through questing and through buying like those crystals here and exchanging them. But if you want like 10 wishes, you will need to go for like the 980 Genesis crystals in a lot of cases. So one single character will cost you about 17 euros. Or maybe like $19 if I have to convert it to dollars. And constellations in this game are just so OP, and you really want to maximize them in the future, but currently this is stuck behind a paywall, unfortunately, what is not so good in my opinion. And as you can see, we have here the first constellation because I had her twice, and we're getting a 16% higher shield, and we are absorbing more electric damage. The second one will make it an AoE skill, one of our elemental attacks, and this one can have a higher level. And usually like the further you go, the more OP it gets. Here we get already 20% additional electro damage, what is a lot, like seriously, 20% more damage, who wouldn't want that? And the last one is even more OP. Each time you activate Stormbreaker, the electro resistance of the surrounding enemies is decreased by 15%. So not only do we get 20% more damage and an AoE from this, and we can level up more. And here 20%, but we're also getting the resistance lowered. So probably with constellations you can tickle out at least like 50% more damage. So your character deals suddenly 150% damage. And the only way to get the Stellar Fortuna at the moment is through wishes. What is actually stuck behind the paywall in this case. What really sucks, because it's pay to win in this case. It's clearly pay to win, and it's one of the downsides. I hope they actually remove this kind of system where you must get constellations from wishes, because like that really sucks. And some characters are even more broken than others, because some are actually getting extreme boosts, like Chongyun for example. If you look at his constellation, even the first one is already quite strong, because after the releasement of 3 ice blades, each blade will do 50% of the attack damage as cryo damage. If you have a lot of attack damage, it's actually a lot. And the last one is 15% more damage to enemies with lower HP than the character. And you get an additional spirit blade, what is very OP. Like the damage output with constellations is getting so OP. Like imagine they actually add competitive PvE, like trials or group trials, and you want the best players in your group because it's so difficult, or there's some PvP. This game will not be balanced at all, and especially 5-star heroes, you will never be able to max their constellation unless you spend hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars, and it's just such a big downside. And even the weapons, if you want to refine them, you need to have them multiple times to get even stronger magical effects from your weapons. And those limited ones that are now in this case just available for 7 days, like Tartaglia, Diona is probably limited too, because nobody said yet that she's gonna be in the normal banner. If you don't max them out yet, you can never max them out, or maybe in a year. And this will actually break the multiplayer balance as well. Like, who wants to cooperate for a world boss with a low constellation player if they can have just a maxed out rich kit that has everything? And another downside is, like, currently there are a lot of nice MMORPG games under development, like Brew Protocol, and the whole environment is similar to Genshin Impact, right? And the characters are cute there too. So what will happen if the competition releases similar anime-like RPG open world games? Will Genshin Impact be able to compete with them, those that are actually for free for maxing characters? Like, who knows? Like, what if Blue Protocol is a bit similar to Genshin Impact, and you can actually maximize your character for less money and maybe even for free? Like, I feel like there should be a more grinding aspect and more leveling aspect added to the game, and maybe they should get rid of the Stellar Fortuna and maybe make it to where you can actually farm those Stellar Fortunas through maybe world bosses, and instead add like costumes and pets, or perhaps adventure experience boosts like special potions into the wishes. I think that would be way more better to have pets, cosmetics and stuff like that, but not pay to win. But overall, I would rate Genshin Impact as a really good game, except for this part here that is so clearly pay to win, because you cannot max your characters unless you got a lot of wishes, and you cannot get wishes from PvE enough for maxing out characters, so you will need to invest some money to max them. And it's really sad to see this with such a great game like Genshin Impact, that I'm having so much fun streaming and playing, and that it's stuck behind the paywall. I hope MiHoYo will look at the competition, also Blue Protocol, and find ways for players to maximize their characters without wishes, and maybe having a plan B for Constellations, like I said, from maybe domains or world bosses. But overall, I would rate this game as a give it a try to play game. So if you're looking for a new RPG game, Genshin Impact is definitely a game for you. Try it out and see if you like it. And yeah guys, that's it for today. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and don't forget to like this video. I will see you guys next time.